Hello friends, so today we're going to be talking about acknowledging your moment's truth within the belly dance realm. Whether you're learning, whether you're in class, whether you're thinking about getting started, wherever you are in the spectrum of your belly dance journey, I find that this is very true for all of us. So one of the things that I've seen a lot of my students do is really push aside how they're truly feeling in the moment for the sake of getting through the class, for the sake of just getting through the day, getting through the practice, getting through the moment. And although sometimes that can be really helpful, I give this example of where you don't need to be happy or in the mood to do something in order to do it. Like, I don't like doing dishes at all, but I don't need to be in a great mood to get them done. I can still be pretty indifferent or pretty like about doing dishes and then still do them. However, there are moments where it is really important for you to acknowledge your moment's truth. So what do I mean by that exactly? I mean that when something is really coming up for you, whether it's frustration, disappointment, excitement, courage, any of these feelings that come up where you feel like it really is something that comes up for you either repeatedly, every time you do this one activity, something you can't just push yourself into doing even while feeling that feeling in the moment, like being frustrated and still trying to learn a choreography well, right? What I found is that when you try and push yourself through, especially what I've seen in my students, because they are the people I work most closely with, when I see this in them or when I see it in other people through the way they speak about something, I feel that it's really, really unhelpful. This suck it up mentality and you need to just suck it up and get it done is not always helpful to you in the moment. In fact, what it actually does a lot of the time when you think you just have to suck it up and move it forward is, although that really doesn't feel good or even genuine for you, but you see everyone else sucking it up and just pushing and plowing forward, it makes you feel like something's wrong with you. At least I know that that's how I have felt in the past. When I was like, why is everyone else able to just suck it up and keep going and I can't? What's wrong with me? And I realize sometimes it's just not the most appropriate answer. Yes, for the dishes, just suck it up and get it done. Absolutely, because it's this meaningless task which has a huge payoff of a beautiful clean kitchen afterwards and no mold and shit inside of my kitchen sink, right? So I'm like, yes, keep my eye on the prize. Ooh, just do it, even though I hate doing dishes. However, when it comes to belly dance, this suck it up mentality doesn't work. And this is what I tell my students all the time in private conversations with them in the middle of class. And anytime I see that this is coming up, that it's such a huge barrier for them that they can't actually move forward in the task at hand or in their own personal practice, is that you have to acknowledge your moment's truth. You have to tell yourself like, hey, something's going on with me where my body, my mind, my emotion, my heart just needs to be heard and validated. Sometimes you just need to be like, I'm really frustrated right now. This is hard. Oh my God, I'm not getting it, right? Sometimes you just need to call it out for yourself and take ownership that that is what's happening for you in the moment. And there's nothing wrong with it. No judgment, nothing to necessarily change about it, but just to full on accept like that is what is coming up for you. Because when you try and push that aside, when you just try and suck it up and plow through it, it just keeps popping back up to be disruptive in the thing that you're trying to get done. It becomes disruptive in you trying to learn the choreography. It becomes this nuisance when you're trying to learn technique and you can't even concentrate anymore. So I found that the best thing to do in those moments, not even the best thing, the most helpful thing, the thing that will really keep you progressing in the direction that you want, is just to own that you're feeling frustrated, that you're feeling happy, that you're feeling disappointed, that you're feeling excited. Any spectrum of feeling, any spectrum of thought, just call it out and become aware and just own it. And own it in a way where there's no judgment on you. Be like, I get to feel this way and like, that's it, right? Because once you allow yourself to do that, once you allow yourself to acknowledge what is there for you, you can actually move forward with what you want. So let's say I'm getting frustrated and I'm like, oh, I'm getting so frustrated right now. Okay. And I just take a moment to actually be in that feeling, like to let it creep up in my shoulders a little bit and just be like, okay, I'm getting frustrated. What is this telling me? Like, you're more apt to listen to your body. What this telling me is, I don't believe that I can get this right. Or I keep doing it and something feels really off. What am I missing? Or this is such a joy that I haven't felt before, but I'm so afraid to feel this feeling because I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? There's so many things that can come up, but once you give yourself this acknowledgement, this ownership over what's happening for you right now, you have the availability to be like, oh, your mind and your heart and your body are now open to whatever's on the other side of that. Meaning, okay, I'm getting frustrated right now. The next thing I need to do for myself is ask my teacher a question. I need to get clarification. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling disappointed right now. Okay. What can I do right now knowing that this is how I'm feeling? Oh, can I let go of the expectation of getting it perfect? Right? You start to have a more open-ended and more open-minded dialogue with what you need in that moment for you to actually keep going forward. And that being said, I tell my students this all the time too, and I think this is why they're so successful within my membership and in my classes, is that even though that you see something is there that necessarily doesn't feel like it's supposed to be there, like frustration and disappointment and any of that, it doesn't mean you have to do anything about it. It doesn't mean you have to change yourself. It doesn't mean you have to stop being disappointed. It doesn't mean you have to be disappointed less. It doesn't mean that you have to not experience frustration or that you shouldn't be struggling. It doesn't mean any of that. You can know something about yourself and not do anything about it. And that's okay. I know that I love to speak really loudly. That's one of the things. And sometimes it annoys the shit out of people. And I know that about myself. It's sometimes a helpful thing and sometimes a not so great thing, right? But it's not something I'm willing to change about myself. And it's not something I'm willing to put effort into. However, I own that that is something that I do as I work through the world, as I operate through the world, right? So for you, when you acknowledge what is there for you, when that frustration comes up, instead of just fucking bulldozing over yourself and like just the suck it up mentality where it's not really helpful at all, especially in belly dancing when you are really vulnerable with the way that you look at your body, the way you talk to yourself, and then doing this art form that is very closely associated with femininity, grace, sensuality, expression, being confident. And then all of a sudden you are like just forcing yourself into this disingenuous place, which a lot of the time is a precursor to a shame spiral, is just not helpful. So when those moments happen, just acknowledge what is showing up for you, acknowledge how you feel, like just call it out, take ownership, because this is where you're going to find the most freedom to keep dancing, to explore what it means to shape your body, to get back in shape, to reduce the amount of stress because you get to do something fun, right? To learn belly dance just for the simple joy of learning it. Well, a lot of the times you won't move forward until you give yourself the space to be human by being kind and compassionate and acknowledging yourself. I love giving this to my students as one of their hugest tools because, to be honest, we can all learn belly dancing. It's never the movement that stops us. It's always this. So I want to be able to offer that to you too. Come join me in my membership. I want to teach you the tools to how to keep going when all that shit talk pops up and how to celebrate yourself too, acknowledging what your moment's truth is right there and then, so you get to see how you want to move forward from there after the suck it up mentality and plow through is no longer in your way. come belly dance with me. I want to be there to support you. I would love to see you in class, and I know the other dancers would love to have you there too. They're so super supportive and so full of life and love. I smile every time I think about them because they're just amazing humans who are supporting and loving each other. And I want you to have that community too, because it's not only about how I can help you, but how your peers can also be there to show up and support you and love you too. So check out the description below, the link in my bio, the link in the comments. I want to invite you to come and belly dance with me. Start today. Don't wait. You're worth spending time on now and getting exactly everything you want with learning belly dance. I look forward to belly dancing with you soon.